to you with a new podcast. We are doing a second or third Phoenix Rising podcast. I don't know. Shannon was supposed to keep up with it, and she decided not to. So here we go.
On me.
Shannon, when we play our song, so if you don't like it, that's too
On music. I know.
why not? What is this song about? Tell them while we're just
FAFO.
sitting here for a second.
You ever know what FAFO
Explain
means?
the whole process.
And how we wrote the song.
Hey, you wrote the song, and then I
I wrote a
stole
song called FAFO, which I'm pretty sure we all know what that stands for.
it. Find out.
Well, and he liked it, and then he put it into Chat GPT and said, "Hey, make this and this sound kind of like LMFAO,
Yeah, there you go.
the party rock."
Because whenever you wrote your song, it was
Mine's a more serious song, like you think you're gonna whoop my ass, but here we go.
right, and it was very country, like twangy. And whenever I heard the song, all my brain kept doing was going to the other song
Yeah.
because it had like an acronym in it, and like I was like, that's like an LMAFO song. It
So-
needs to be like a party song. So like
So he's got the party version of it, and I have the
Sir's version.
real FAFO version of
Yeah, she got the real Sir's version.
it. Yeah,
Mine's like about party.
they're both good either way.
So I chat GPT'd it, and then I come up with the whole thing, and then I ran through it, and then I changed some stuff up in it like a little bit. And then gave to you guys a gift of a new video for it this morning. So check that out.
And also the other song that's there
Oh,
that him wrote for me.
I think they can hear that. I don't know. Here's the song that I wrote.
I hope so.
I don't know.
We hope you can. If not, just go to the YouTube and you'll find "Hold Me Like That" and FAFO, the club mix.
Yeah.
Because they were both put up on YouTube last night.
This song took me like 8 hours.
Made a really good video though, and I thought it was sweet. He's so sweet.
I'm so sweet.
I wouldn't tell him about it. Yes, he is.
What are we even talking about with this?
Well, we were going to discuss like mental health.
We were going to split. Well,
I
yes,
thought we were, right?
We were, because that's one of the big main topics that we discuss on this podcast. But specifically, this is what? Suicide Awareness Month. So we were going to talk about our maybe just my personal struggles with that.
I mean, I've had struggles with it, you know.
Okay. Well, then we'll talk about ours.
But I mean, I don't think mine went as far as yours did.
Right.
And that there are different kinds of suicide. Like there's the actual, whether you kill yourself or you overdose, and sometimes they're accidental overdoses.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you have a substance abuse problem, that can be an accident. But
You
sometimes,
don't mean to do it, or like with us, a lot of them that leave the rehab I work at, that go out to do stuff they did before. But your body's already clean from it. So when you're putting all this stuff back in it, your body's like, oh, wait a minute.
but there are some people that just use constantly,
Oh, yeah.
and they get in a state of mind that they don't care how much they are using.
No. They get to the point where they don't care
They
if
don't
it kills
care.
them or not.
Yeah. So that is more like a suicide than like
It
an
is.
accidental.
It may not be intentional at one point, but they just have I mean, and I've seen them come through where I work at that, like, survive it. And then it changes the whole perspective on life. Like, you know, I almost lost my life. I thought I didn't care. But I'm glad I'm here. You know, there's a lot that goes around that.
Yeah. So we thought we would talk about those things, our own personal dealings with it, either at a work environment or with our own stuff, and then we'll also talk about it being Suicidal Awareness Month, and we'll talk about like some things you can do, some things I've been trying to tell, like some certain close family members that I know that are having problems, that I would give people advice. And then we'll talk about what Shannon's making me do it. So we're gonna have to watch the conscience video somehow, or at least talk about it.
Yeah, and it's because it's probably like my definitely one of my favorite songs that you have done. I had nothing in that, and I wish I would have, but I did not because at first he wasn't even going to put the song out because he thought it was
What?
too
Well, yeah, it was a little graphic.
yeah. But I'm like, no. Like, there's a lot of people that feel that way and have tried to do that. That would definitely understand it, and then you just got to listen to all of it, not just taking the first part of what happens. That's I think is a big difference too. It's not just the first couple minutes. Like you need to listen to all of it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is supposed to be painting a story. It's not just supposed to be like it's like it's a dialogue story that's building throughout the entire song. That's the way I try to make it the best I could. There, I have another song that also is about like I'll kind of explain it. I haven't put it out yet because I'm still kind of working on it. We'll kind of cover that too. But let's go ahead and firstly, I'll let you start because you're the lady about your personal
Lady, so funny.
stuff.
I'm not a lady. Um,
Well, whatever you want to call
well,
yourself. It's 2025. Man.
I have I've dealt with addiction, meth, and alcohol a lot. Like I finally have. I've been off meth for I think 5 years, and off alcohol for like 4. But like I was a champion, you know.
Wasn't
You learn. Listen, if the top come off the bottle, it didn't go on. You just drank whatever was there. I used to drink a lot, way, 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 way too much, and it just finally was like
you were champion in the wrong way.
in the wrong way. I wasn't saying that in a good way. Like I learned to drive drunk, which is nothing to brag about, but when you live out in the country, you got to either learn to drive or whatever.
Well, you better watch out. Cops are going to show up.
Nah, I don't do it now, so it
Give you
doesn't
some
matter.
ticket.
It's too late now.
Is there such a limitation?
And there he is. You got to catch me doing it. Now I ain't going to be caught doing it. But, you know, I got clean off of meth and got with someone who was doing it and pulled me back in. And then it was to the point where I packed all the stuff, put it on the front porch, and I was like, you know, I ain't doing this no more. I can't do this. I can't go back to where I was. And nowadays it's so mixed with fentanyl.
Oh, yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine because you know we have people that come in like well, you're positive for fentanyl. Like I've never done it in my life,
Yeah.
but you do meth, so it's in there.
Yeah.
You do it, you just don't know you're doing
And
it.
people spike it, right, from my understanding.
That's what they've been cutting it with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that and
Or
marijuana.
cutting it. That's the
Yeah.
spiking it, but yeah.
Yeah, and like I couldn't ever. You know, my dad had a really bad drinking problem for a long time, and he had finally quit. Thank goodness. My brother had a drug problem for I couldn't tell you how long, and he's been clean now for 3 or 4 years. So like it's kind of been sort of a family thing that somebody has done something in the family, you know, something that I don't ever want my kids to do. Like my son has drank some here and there, but they came from a biological father who passed away a year ago in August of an overdose, who is extreme drug addict. And I mean, and you know, my son would call me when they were pregnant with the first little redheaded thing we got, crying because he's like, I don't want to be like that. I'm like, well, don't be like that. You don't have to be like that. You change, you make your life how you want it to be. If you want to be there for these babies like he wasn't, then don't be like that. You know, and I gotta say he works hard for these kids because they got twins now. So I mean he's done really good. And you always don't want your kids to turn out the way you had done. You know what I mean? Like think as far as I know, which some of my children aren't around here, so but even my youngest one, I don't think she's has done anything like that. I'm sure she drinks something. I mean, they're teenagers; they find something every now and then.
Mm.
But you know what I mean. Like my kids have done very well not doing that, and I'm not bashing anybody like my ex because I had to forgive him for everything he did, in order to be able to move on to a relationship and not hold stuff against other people. Like I forgave him. We never got to have that conversation
before.
That's
podcast right there.
Yeah. But I didn't get to tell him I forgave him before he passed away. And and that's something with the overdose, and which I don't know if it would necessarily have been him trying to do it, because he was supposed to be trying to go into rehab because of his addictions. But he never got to meet these grandkids. Like the family met Addie at the funeral. And I'm like, it shouldn't be like this. But addiction's a really hard thing. Like you seclude yourself and you just don't want to be around a whole lot of people. Especially if they're not doing what you're doing, because then somebody else is going to gripe at you for doing it.
Well, one of the hardest things, like when I went up there to attempt to do a speech at the place you work at, and then it became more of a question, type of open question thing. A lot of those guys, you don't realize how much like depression and mental illnesses, whatever it is, anxiety, depression, just everyday stuff you're trying to struggle with, maybe on top of a diagnosis of some sort, pushes you to use.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you're not getting like yourself better in both aspects, you're not going to probably achieve success again over both of those things. You have to both deal with both, some sort of taking yourself off the dependency on whatever substance you're on, and you also have to fix the mental health portion of your brain, so you don't feel like you have to dive back into something that just washes away the pain of what you're going through. Because that's what most people go do, all that stuff. It's like I've never been to the point where I personally have been an addict of a
you drank
like a drug, but I had a bad drinking problem for a couple of years while I was in the service, and a lot of that was like it was just like I was trying to find ways to deal with it, what I was going through, and I was starting to have some mental breaks and stuff like that. And I just thought, like, well, everybody else drinks to have fun. If I just drink and have fun, I don't have to worry about the stuff that's bothering me. And that became a new vice, and a way to like cover up how I really felt.
He gets home.
Yeah, and then you got to deal with more because you probably mess some stuff up while you were drinking and everything else.
100%.
But that was my biggest thing, was drinking, and as far as a dependency type of thing. But like my mental health has always been my biggest thing. Man, major depressive disorder is something I have. Dysthymia, PTSD,
depression.
It's just like it's pretty much like you. It's like pick a card.
Spin the wheel. See who we're getting today.
And that's what we get. That's what kind of the disease state I got, or they're giving me at some point.
Well, but you also have to emphasize on how important it is to take your medication.
Yeah, that is a big thing I heard about.
You heard about? For me?
For a lot of people. And it is very important, because whenever I want to now talk more about my specific suicide times, right? Okay, so like my first time that I ever tried to commit suicide, I was very like young. I was probably like, I don't know, 19. It was the first time I ever thought about it, right? But I didn't really like plan it or do it or anything. I just was kind of talking, like getting myself in the mindset. Things were starting to like weird in my head and stuff. And I went to a mental health facility, or asylum, some people would call it, for a few days to get my stuff together. And then that worked for a little while until I had another major break. And they usually were associated with like failed relationships, failed a lot of stuff, and also that was a lot of like me perceiving things. You can't perceive that somebody's going to leave you, but like perceiving, even taking everything wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when we talked about earlier, like turning your frown upside down and trying to reframe stuff from negative to positive. I was horrible at it. I just lived in the negative.
And you still have problems with that.
I still do. Sometimes. That's why I have an Eeyore on my bed. If like anybody's ever watched any of our reactions, that's why I have Eeyore as one of the stuffed animals on the bed.
Yeah.
Because people have legitimately, people in my family and people who are close to me said, "Oh, you're like Eeyore. You're just so negative. Like that's all you do is you just complain about being negative and everything bad happening to you. And a lot of bad things have happened to me, but a lot of like things that like learning to persevere, get back on my feet, and
Not give up so easy.
yeah, not give up, and like learn to overcome. You know, so by the time I got to my second stay at um, a mental health facility, I was there for about 9 days, and that was the first time I ever tried to do anything. So like, luckily, like I've tried to do it twice, and like luckily, like God said it wasn't time yet. There's a lot of people that don't have that opportunity. Like God said you got a bigger purpose. I guess I'm assuming that
Yeah.
there was too much food in the world, and he needed
He had
somebody
to
to be
wait
able to eat it.
to let me
That's what it
show
was.
you. It was he was waiting for me.
I'm pretty sure that's probably what it
It was just
was,
me.
and but also, you know,
But in honesty, I think this has changed both of us
I mean, my
in
whole
that aspect. You know what I mean?
this,
Like it's not.
I mean, like not like everything. This has changed, like to be greatly good. Every time that I've went through something, when I still was struggling, but it's got me now to this moment of like, well, like for the last little bit since we've been together, mental clarity of like, it's some things are my, there's a lot of things that are my fault. That you have to accept responsibility. Just like if you go to
Oh yeah,
AA, you have to accept that you're an
yeah,
alcoholic. You have to accept that some of the stuff, regardless of your mental health, is still your responsibility.
yeah.
Like having a mental disorder does not give you the
Get out of
permission,
jail free
yeah,
card.
to do whatever the hell you want to do. And there's times that like I did do whatever the hell I wanted to do. If I wasn't happy or I wasn't happy in a relationship or was this, that, and the other, I wasn't a positive thing in those environments. But like learning through all this, I've learned that like how to become better,
Yeah,
I guess. And I want to make a difference. And like that's one of the biggest things that you can do too is if you're struggling with any kind of suicidal or any kind of depression or anything, is go out and help other people.
yeah.
Because one of the first things that you'll realize, like, there's a lot of people struggling with a lot of stuff in the world.
In silence.
Yeah, in silence or in the open or wherever. There's just people struggling.
Yeah, a
Sometimes
lot.
when you're internally just everything's wrong with me and I just want to die and this is horrible and I just want to get out of here. And you only think about what's going on with you.
Yeah,
You don't think anybody else is having any problems. You just see like some people's bits and pieces that like, oh, they're all happy. They're having everything they want. They're doing this, that, and the other.
yeah,
But they may be silently or talking to other people about how much they hate things too, hearing certain things or start doing certain things or reaching out and trying to help other people. You start to realize you're not alone, and that's why like we wanted to make this community to be a place where people can feel comfortable about helping each other
yeah.
and things like that.
To take that stigma away that it's okay.
Exactly.
Like you're not an outcast. You're not crazy. You know what I mean? Like there's other people that, and I think with my job, it's good because when other people come in that have gone through the same thing and feel the same stuff, they're now around other people who are like, I'm you. Like this is me. Before I came here, this is what was happening. But this is where I'm at now. This is where you can be at if you just try and give it a chance and talk to the therapist. Because, I have to say we have good caseworkers and good therapists there that help people. And you have to have something like that. You need at least one person you can go
Yeah.
to help you with whatever.
I mean, you really do, and I've learned that a lot of those people are going through a lot of stuff too. So like sometimes you gotta give them a little bit of chill too. Like sometimes like you don't have to bring stuff that's appropriate. You don't bring everything to them if you don't have to. You know what I mean? Like they're just people too. But the biggest thing was like the last time that I went into a fine mental health facility was actually that. Like the other times I was just trying to make it through, right? And I was
Yeah.
just trying to learn what I can learn, do what I'm supposed to do, check the boxes, get better. And I didn't ever look outside of my own problems. Like I explained to you how I came up with that the system that I wanted to do, like
Mm-hmm.
that app. I was always looking into like me.
Yeah.
What can I do to fix me and my problem? What can I do to fix me and my problem? But then like the last time I went, I was like started talking to other dudes that was in there and like learning that everybody else and learning what they did to try to fix their problems and learning what I could use from what they were teaching me that might work for me. It may not, but just try and see different things. So it's like that's what it's really like the biggest thing that I would try to say. Like I have I don't really want to put out who it is. A very close family member, like I was really struggling with some stuff. And so whenever I talked to her about it and the stuff that she was going through, I try to explain to her you can't put it in other people. You have to be in control of your own happiness. You have to make your own happiness work. Like if I know like recently I've been really trying to do the YouTube stuff. And I've kind of let me go on. I mean, believe it or not, by looking at my body, I got Atlas over here. I used to go to the gym a little bit. Uh, but like whenever I went back to the mental health facility earlier this year, I realized how much that knocks stress off of me, right? To go to the gym or do some sort of workout. And I let it slide for a little bit because we've been really trying to put out music. We've been really trying to put out, but I was like, I'm not listening to myself. I know this, Nick. You know what you have to do. So like, uh, I decided that I got to get back to doing the things that make me feel good for myself, that don't stress me out or de-stress me if I can work on that. And that's what I'm trying to explain to her. I'm like, you can't go trying to get your happiness from somebody else or your self worth from somebody else. Your happiness and your self worth comes from yourself and only from yourself. And if you try to hope that somebody else is going to make you feel a certain way, you're going to end up feeling
Disappointing.
horrible and
Yep.
disappointed
Yep.
because, like, that's what got me into the mental health facility this year. Was it like another failed relationship wasn't working out, and I was hoping that like if I got upset, we got into it, she would listen, and then I would be able to. We would talk about it, we'd move on, and we would grow. Instead, different things. She had different idea of moving on. Okay, let's just say it that way. And like instead of me knowing the things that I knew, I decided to take it super hard and not learn from my past mistakes. Right, the things that I already knew, and it made it even worse.
Because it was a struggle when we first got together.
I mean, it was even way worse even before we got together.
Yeah, but I mean, like for me and what you were going through and your meal with all of that,
Yeah, I mean,
because it put us in a little pickle at one point.
there will be times that I will be insecure about stuff still now, but like, and also it's also not even security though too either. It's be setting my boundaries sometimes too. It's like there's a little bit of both to it. Like before, I would probably have felt a certain way, got agitated, voiced my opinion, been mad about it,
And then you leave.
and then either leave or bottle it in, and then get to a point where I was super emotional and just go off the deep end, which is like what happened. Like the days that like I didn't sleep for like 10 days.
Yeah.
So like you know, whenever that kind of mania like kind of sets in because of either some amount is me manufacturing, some amount is being made for me. Like uh, you have to learn later. Like we have talked about numerous times. This is like a relationship. What our boundaries are, what our expectations are, what you like, what you don't like, what you accept, what you don't accept. And sometimes you still get people. You'll still get mad. I'll still get mad. But we learn to talk about it because
Yeah.
we set it up. We set up those boundaries of how we need to be comfortable in the relationship,
Yeah.
unlike I did in other.
Yeah.
Or
You do
I
things
let that slide.
differently.
Well, I let that slide is partially what had happened after so long. You kind of get comfortable and you're like,
And I
nah,
had to, and it's just like, oh, I don't want to start over. I'll just do this and be okay.
right.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
you
not that no more.
or you don't want to restart and you're like,
Hmm.
or you just put up with a lot of shit
Or you're
because you
just scared
are
restarting.
scared of restarting, or you don't think you're good enough, and you put up with a lot of stuff because you know those people might mean something to you, and you don't want to make them feel bad. You don't want to make yourself feel bad. You don't want to like uproot a whole family system or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's difficult when you're going through those times
Yeah.
because your brain will play tricks on you and stuff like that. But like the things that you have to learn that you have to keep yourself together. Like that's the only way that you can. And so like it's kind of it's a weird way to say it. Like, uh, but like you were saying before with sobriety and stuff like that, it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
If you know that you're starting to have some problems, you need to you need to go to a therapist. You need to take your medication. You need to uh, possibly um, get your exercise. Try different techniques. There's all kinds of different techniques. Breathing in, circular breathing, counting to five, count down from for your ABCs backwards. You know,
And with us too,
do size and all that other stuff.
we write music
And that's something
to
that
help.
find a hobby. It
Yes.
don't have to be writing music. It could be
Yeah.
making woodwork. It could be going to the gym. It could be
To me, music
whatever. You know.
is like journaling
Yeah, that's
because when we write things, it's a lot of the times it's about my stuff is usually mushy. I
I'm all over the place.
I have some that are not mushy, but it's a good way to get those feelings out
Mhm.
without taking it out on somebody. Because like for me, my mental health is like being in these relationships that have been abusive and cheating and just you're so drained to a point mentally that you just don't want to try to do something different. Like you're just over it.
Or you're just tired of being hurt. You're tired of
Yeah.
going through it. You're tired of the bullshit. Uh, somebody else will put you through. You're tired of not feeling like you're worth anything, even
Yeah.
though, like I said, that only comes from yourself. But it does make it hard whenever you're with somebody and you're trying to give your all, and they want to go out and find other people, or they want to dick you around, or whatever they're
In
doing.
my last situation, which made me want to drink again.
Right.
Because you're with somebody you've known most of your life, and you think, oh my God, this is great. And they don't even take a second look at you. Like they just, you're not there. You're a roommate. You get to pay all the bills, but there's no kind of connection. Like there were plenty of times I wanted to just go out and start drinking again. Like it was not good for my health. I gained 30 plus pounds because I got so depressed that I finally was like, I got to get out of this. Like, because this is not good for me. This is making me worse. Like, if I'm to the point where I just want to drink, I don't need to be here. And I finally got myself out of that situation. And then I actually had to stay with my mom until I got my own place. Because, it's like, I just couldn't stay there any longer. Like, there was no way to do it. No way. And then, bam, here you come.
Yeah, it is very difficult starting over. I've started over 4 times
Especially this age. As
in
you get older, I think it's harder.
in either significant relationships or marriages. And when I was young, I thought every time I was in a serious relationship, I guess I thought I was supposed to be married. And I don't know, but it is hard. The biggest thing that's always been hardest for me is because my kids have went through a lot. The
Yes.
two that I have, and I've always, whenever I was in a relationship or I was married or I was in a long term relationship, I didn't want to rock the boat because they were going. They've already had been through a lot, and I just wanted to just suck it up or whatever you want to call it until you know I could just have them a happy place, and then I would figure it out once they were big enough to be me. But like
Yeah.
sometimes not the cards that God gives you. That's not what God is telling you. It's like some people in your life are everybody in your life. First of all, is going to be situational, and they're going to be for a matter of time. That matter of time could be until the day that you die, the day that they die, or it could be
We
3 or 4 months,
yeah.
4 or 5 years, 10, 15 years. That may be the season in which God puts you together. Now, that doesn't mean you go out and you just, the first chance you get, you file for divorce when you look at somebody sideways because they used
Yeah.
your toothbrush or something. I don't know, but whatever. You don't just like find any reason to get rid of somebody, but at the same time, if it's not beneficial to you, it's not beneficial to your kids. If you have kids in that situation, if like you two are more miserable together than you can be apart,
Yeah.
then you need to be apart. Like
Yeah.
that's just like that's like God wouldn't put somebody in your life to be like, you know what I want to do? I'm gonna put these two together and make them miserable. He's not up there watching freaking
Do
as the
that.
world
Yeah.
turns. Like that's not his goal in life. His goal is to make you a more spiritual, wiser person while you're
And I
here.
think whether you're in addictions or whatever, or having mental health, I think certain people are put into your life to help you
Right.
with those. Whether it's being in a new relationship or you stumble across somebody who's addicted to things that you are and they're going to get help and they're like, I think you need to come with me. And then they pull you in with them to help you get clean. Like either way, I think people are put in your life for a reason. Whether it's a lesson, whether it's, to be with somebody to make your life more complete and not be a crap show, you know, because I'm really tired of crap shows at this
Yeah.
point.
Well, a lot of
Like,
times, I mean, that's what people are in your life for. Like it's because it's not my place to make you better. It's your place to make you better.
yeah, but
Like,
together you can
but
make each
together
other
you
better.
can, and you
Yeah,
can. But like, if like you're both not trying to do that,
it's not gonna.
it's not gonna be better. And if
And
it
then you're
gets
going to bring in mental health in the aspect of somebody being depressed
right,
or having anxiety, or then they start drinking or they're doing drugs.
yeah,
Like I think
then that becomes
it's a cycle.
yeah cycle. Yeah,
Yeah, like I had to break my cycle of addiction, and the people that I date, because I cannot have a DOC number any longer with
yeah.
me.
Well, I mean,
Because it's just the thing. Like it just,
and
and not all people are bad that have one. I'm not saying that.
sounds
Just
like it.
my experience has not been the greatest. You know what I mean?
And then, but then there's also you have to look at your own what you did, maybe not what you did, but maybe picking up the same type of person.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like being, you can't really help who you're attracted to, but like once you know, hey, there's all these red flags, instead of saying, hey, probably should
she looked
leave,
like a good
prob-
idea.
probably should leave that situation.
You right. Well, and
you
that's what
just
you're
stay there.
comfortable to.
Right,
It's like being addicted to something.
right.
This is, and you can be addicted to a person, or you can be addicted to the idea of a person, like the bad boy images. Some females are just addicted to that. Like they want that. They don't want the sweet guy that's going to treat them right, take care of them. They want this. And it's like an addiction too. You know what I mean? Like you have to have that. That is what will lead you into having
Yeah,
other
I mean,
things.
we could talk about all the. Well, that might be our next one of these. Like, what are the flags of relationships on women and men or whatever? But like, there's a lot of great things that all my exes did. There's a lot of bad things that my exes did too. And I'm pretty sure that they would talk to you if you were to talk to them about how bad I am.
Oh yeah,
I
hundred
mean, because
percent.
like,
Mine would tell you I'm Satan,
what is
reincarnate.
what does the Joker say in the Batman movie? You live long enough to become the villain in somebody's story.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, if you're in a relationship long enough or you're around long enough, you're gonna make somebody find something that you're doing not likable. They
Yeah.
don't like you, or they're gonna have a reason to complain about it or
Well,
whatever.
that's their excuse just to
But
not
that's their
be with
excuse
you.
to look like the better person, which
Yeah.
is a lot of times the out for the other person. But
Yeah.
like, the biggest thing about the suicide awareness portion of what we're trying to talk about is you have to take responsibility. And so, like, when I was telling the person that was really close to me, because we were covering music, so we got to the point of the conversation where we were talking about music,
Mhm.
and they were talking about a specific band. And I was like, well, that band really glorifies suicide a lot. They really glorify how good it would be. And then they started explaining to me how, like, they had made these comments and all this other stuff, but then once things started getting positive, then they reversed their comments and they reversed their stance on suicide, or they said that if I don't get popular by a certain amount of time, we should kill ourselves or whatever. But then they did get popular, so they were like, oh, well, then we're good, so don't worry
And
about it.
that's ridiculous.
So that made me like kind of like go back to the whole like, because one of the biggest like most influential like rock people to me, or like music people to me, would be like Chester Bennington and Chris
Yeah.
Cornell,
Yeah.
who both killed themselves relatively close to each other.
Oh, within a month, I think to the day, maybe
Yeah.
a month
And I was
apart.
trying to explain to that person, I was like, it's horrible the stuff that they went through, the pain and all the other stuff. Because I know, like I've been there. I've been a person who's tried to kill themselves, and luckily, God gave me other chances. And maybe God didn't feel like they needed other chances. I don't know, but like I just feel like sometimes people glorify the suicide sometimes instead of saying you should have reached down and try to get help. You know what I mean?
And everybody's like, well, I don't want to be on medicine. But sometimes you can get on something to help stabilize what you're going through. You know
Again,
what I mean? Because, I mean, I've seen people who, when they don't take medicine,
never heard.
you're different because I mean that they're mood stabilizers for a reason. And it's not like you should feel ashamed because you're on Zoloft or Wellbutrin or any of these things. It's to help you.
Yeah.
It's legit to make you feel better, to stabilize everything you've got going on so you can function because
Yeah.
some people can't function without it.
And if like y'all haven't picked up on the drift of what she's talking about, there's some days I kind of forget to take my medicine,
Kind of.
and so like I'm
4 days. Can we do
I don't
8 days?
4 days. It was 4 days one time, like weeks ago. But
But I
like
mean, it's still like with you though. Like I can tell when you don't
I wasn't.
because I'll be looking at you like, did you take it?
I was taking my morning meds. I wasn't taking
Taking
my
the night
night
meds,
meds because I was over here or like
and that
something's
makes
going
a
on.
difference.
And
Like,
but that's one of the big things, and that doesn't make it okay. I shouldn't have that excuse. Like what I need to do is find a remedy for that situation, and like set an alarm or make a note or something. I don't know. I need to figure out something. But that's what I have to do. Just like
yeah,
anybody who's on it, I have to take responsibility and figure out how to fix it because I am very compliant with my morning medicine because it's part of my routine, but not very compliant with my afternoon medicine. I'm like,
because
it's seven,
sometimes you're here and
some 7 days a week. I might take it 4 or 5 of the days
yeah,
pretty consistently, but still, like that, those 2 or 3 days off is enough time for your brain to start to like be wonky.
readjust itself again.
Be
Yeah,
wonky
I'm not
on and
saying
off
he
of it.
runs around here crazy with a hatchet in his hand, but the mood.
It's not a hatchet usually.
Shh, I'm trying to be nice, but but the mood
It's like
is different.
things you get hot dogs off of.
The prong
Yeah,
things. But I mean, I can just tell the difference in the mood.
yeah,
And it's also very important if you're in that situation to be with somebody who understands.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
And not just
And
under
doesn't come at you like
the biggest.
sideways.
Sorry, the biggest thing is not just understand because I've been with an ex before
Supposedly, that understand.
that supposedly
I'm
understood
sorry.
was even getting schooling for it. And I'm not saying that sometimes she did not say beneficial things or act like she was trying to be there, but it was like there was more time that it was a. It felt like, let me see, which one of my therapist guys that I went through therapy with used to always say, "Don't say matter of fact, say what you think." So it was my opinion that it was just a nuisance to her. She would just
Yeah.
say it so she can say that she said it, but not like she really was going to carry through with the whole process. It was like, oh yeah, just breathe in, breathe out. It'll be all right. It's gonna be okay. And then they would isolate themselves away from me, and then like I would have to try to tackle all that stuff by myself. And of course, sometimes I have to do that because I have to take control of it. But at the same time, you also have to have somebody who is going to be there to know that I'm going through that stuff and not use it as a reason why,
Yeah. Not judge you for it.
not that they don't want to be around you or be with you or whatever. And that's like whatever. That's that's a past relationship, and there's good stuff in that relationship, good stuff in other relationships that I've learned from. There's bad stuff that I've also learned from. But like the biggest thing that I've learned, and if any of you guys listen to any of our songs, any of the songs that I
Mm-hmm.
write, I've learned recently I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for how I feel. Like if I go to bed at night and I don't feel good, like I can call Shannon, or I can cry myself to sleep, or do push-ups, or write a song, or like take control of the situation. Not sit there and let it fester for years until I stay up for 10 days straight and have to, almost kill myself and go to mental health facility. But learn that I got to take control, and things are gonna get better. Like I told the person I was telling before, like the lowest point you get at any point in your life is just the start of the next highest high point. You know what I'm saying? Like
Going up.
that's what life is. It's going through a storm. It's going through a low point. It's getting to the other side of things. It's like you have to know that like unless you're dead, tomorrow could be better. Or the next day. It might take a little while to get to better, but it's going to get better. And guess what? When it's good, it's going to get bad again. Because that's just what life is. But you have to know every time that you went through each struggle and storm that it's got you more prepared for the next one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You can
saying?
deal with it better. And I think too, like with a lot of the young kids that deal with stuff, like my daughter, she's been on medication for depression, anxiety. A lot of these kids do things because of the bullying, and you know what I mean? Like they start doing things because, well, if they get high, then they're not going to care what this person says.
But it's
Or if
also
they drink, or if they try to kill themselves, it's because this person. Because a lot of people struggle with that, and I think with younger kids, it's more impressionable.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're older, you know how to deal with things. I think a little bit better. When you're first starting out in life, you just don't know nothing. Like you're,
Well, like I try to explain to that person, it's glorified.
yeah, 100%.
What is the show? 13 Reasons Why. 13 Reasons Why. That you did what? Kill yourself. Like that, there's
Yeah,
so much stuff in this society right now that tells you multitude of things. Like
yeah,
it's easier to break up than it is to stay in a relationship. It's easier to kill yourself than it is to live and move on. Like it's easier to give up when you could just fight to try to get through things. That's what society is trying to teach people right now, and it is harder to do things the hard way, but it makes you stronger.
yeah. You learn from that.
Right. Like granted, you know, you're not always gonna. It's not always gonna turn out the way. I mean, you can go to all the therapy you want to. You can do everything you think you could possibly do, and it can still suck for a while.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean that it's going to be great, horrible forever. You just have to learn that God is preparing you for something. If you believe in a God, or even if you don't, even if you don't believe that there's a God and there's an afterlife, but you believe that like, well, this going through these troubled times are going to make me wiser. They're going to make me more patient. They're going to make me understand things more. It's going to make you a better person.
yeah,
Like like at the minimum, you're going to learn how to be better at those things. Like, don't just give up just for the sake of like, it's the easy road. And that was what I was trying to get to whenever I was saying something about Chester Bennington and, you know, stuff like that. Like, I don't mean that. I'm not trying to take shots at him, but like, the person I was talking to was telling me about the group and how they glorified suicide. And I was like, there's so many people that glorify suicide or look at it as the easy way to get out.
but it's really not.
It is easy for you because it's a selfish act.
Very selfish.
And I know that because I've done it. I took the selfish act and wished that I didn't wake up after one time I slept for about 42 hours. Like I didn't want to do those things. But see, now that God's got me through all that stuff, I've been able to see and learn from all those things. I know that I'm here for something greater. I've learned from all those things. And maybe God's plan was those particular people they weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
But like my thing is, if you knew, and I don't know the ins and outs of everybody's therapy and everything else, they may have been doing all the therapy they could do, and they're just going to take it no more. I'm not trying to speak that I know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that like if you're in a place where you're not doing what you need to do, or you're not doing what could help you, if you're substance abuse and you need to go to rehab, if you're having mental health problems and you need to go to therapy and you need to do all this other stuff, and you're not doing those things, and the first thing you think of is killing yourself, then you need to go get help. Like it's that minimal because it's up to you to make sure that you're going to be okay, and it's up to you to make sure that if I was to die because I killed myself, Shannon has to live with it for her the rest of her life. My kids have to live with it for the rest of their life. My parents have to live with it for the rest of their life. Whoever three other people besides them who care about me who have to live with all that for the rest of their life. Like that's selfish that you just worried about how you felt, that you didn't want to take the initiative and take therapy and take rehab. I'm not saying that people don't and they still things happen. But I was saying people
Yeah.
that don't do those things and then they just look for the easy way out.
And like some of the incidents at work, one young lady coming there got clean, and when I say young, I'm talking my youngest daughter's age, 18 years old, still in school.
Mm-hmm.
They get out and they're like, well, I just want to do this. I just want to feel that. And they do it, even if you're used to doing it. Like, that's what killed her. Like, she did what she had always done.
Yeah.
And it wasn't intentional. I mean, this girl had high hopes of being a nurse. You know what I mean? And that wasn't something she wanted to do, but because of her addiction, it's what happened.
Oh yeah.
And people overlook people that are strung out on drugs. You see them on the street. Yeah, they probably look like they trying to do the wobble and they can barely even walk, but they have a serious issue. Try to help them. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen how people are around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People that are dealing with, and if you've never been there, you can't truly understand. But in the world, you just need to have compassion.
Yeah, you definitely have to have compassion for people who's going through that stuff. And if you're one of those people who are going through those stuff, just because you went through rehab, don't mean your work's done.
No,
Your work is every day for the rest of your
it's
life.
doing steps. It's going to
Yeah.
meetings. It's having
It's
a sponsor.
continuing to know that you are an addict of something.
Being accountable for what you do.
Just like when I went to these mental health facilities, I didn't become uncrazy when I left. I still crazy. I still gotta take my stuff every day, and some days I don't, and I mess up. I'm gonna have repercussions.
Yeah.
You have to take responsibility, but people also need to have a understanding as well that it's not something that they want. You help each other, help them, help themselves, and help them help make it through. You got to do that together as a community. That's what it's all about. It's like it's just learning from each other. Because just because you never had a substance abuse, don't mean you never had depression. Don't mean you never went through anything. Don't mean you can't say a word of wisdom or show sympathy or empathy and shit. I always get those confused on like what would help that person get through that day. And that's what it's all about. And if you're having struggles, reach out to who you need to reach out to. Reach out to the suicide. If you're thinking about it right now, reach out to suicide awareness. They even have a texting. You can text them. Like if you're not comfortable talking to people, there's so many. Like at the end of the video that I want to try to share with you guys, we have all the
There's numbers.
numbers at the end
or
of it.
text.
And if you can't really see it very well on this, go back and look at the video. If you really need it, don't even watch the video. Just go back to the end. If you need the number, just the number's right there.
There's for PTSD. There's teens.
There's all kinds
and
of
veterans. Because and I think a lot of veterans, in my opinion, get overlooked. I mean, these guys have been overseas, guys and gals, fighting for this country and ended up disabled or come back with some severe PTSD or, you know what I mean? Like,
well, a lot of the problem is like what happened with me. Like I got kicked out of the service mentally or medically retired, right? But what happened was I went to the mental health home base saying I have XYZ problem, which they always say preach to you, go to mental health. If you have a problem, go to mental health. If you have a problem, and as soon as you do, they kick you out. So you at first you have this feeling that you don't want to reach out to people because
Yeah.
as soon as you do, they're going to take everything away from you. Like they're going to mess up your life. You don't want to go back to the VA. You don't want to have to deal with them. You don't want to have to go to a therapist because you don't trust anybody. And
Yeah.
like you go to all these therapists, and all these therapists want to give you a diagnosis within the first 5 minutes of meeting you.
Yeah.
Look, I met you 5 seconds ago. I saw how you signed your name. You must have
Or you didn't look at me.
PTSD. Yeah, you look wrong at me, so you must be bipolar. I mean, like they don't even give you the time of day or even look through the DSM 5, 6, whatever they're up to now. I don't know, but like there's time requirements. There's description requirements. There is all these different requirements, and therapists just want to fill in the box, figure it out, get their money. And not all therapists. Let me rephrase that. I'm making an absolute statement again, but like a lot of therapists, you feel like as on this side of the couch from them, they don't care. They're just checking boxes, especially when you go through the VA. So that's why a lot of veterans, I think, have that problem. They don't want to go back and
Yeah.
deal with it. They'll just tackle it themselves. They figured out how to live through life. So far, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's not what, you know, that's why there's like a homeless problem with, you know,
Yep.
with a lot of veterans because
100%.
it's pride. And don't be too prideful to ask for help. Like,
No. If you're out somewhere, just say something nice to somebody.
yeah.
Or just say, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
They may look at you funny, but they might be like, I'm good. How are you? Man, I'm great. I hope you have a great day.
Yeah.
That could change somebody's whole day.
What would happen if your appendix burst?
I'd hope you take me to the hospital
Why?
because I'll die.
Right. So what is your appendix? It's an organ in your body, just like your brain. If your brain's about to burst because you're going through a lot of mental health problems, guess what you need to do? You need to go to the doctor or therapist or wherever you need to go because what will happen? You'll probably die.
Yeah.
So it's the same concept. So if there's anybody that's watching this like, oh, I don't go talk to no shrink. I don't tell shrinks my problem. I can live through it. It's the same. You need to look at it as the same type of priority.
But you also need to ask yourself, how's that doing you so far? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you
if
look.
you're having that big of an issue and you're still struggling, how well is not getting help
Yeah.
helping you right now?
Right, because you're probably more than likely going. Yeah, these people are really making a lot of sense. There's a lot of shit that's been going wrong for me, but I ain't going to no doctor.
But and it's
Mm.
somebody that you don't know. So it's not like somebody's going to be biased to you and be like, "Oh, you're just crazy. You're overthinking it." It's going to be somebody. Not all of them, unfortunately. I work with a lot of good ones, so I mean, I've seen how they interact and how they do things. You find that right one, they don't know you. Like you don't have that up of somebody going to judge you right off the bat because they know who you are,
Yeah,
and it's someone to just talk to.
and it doesn't matter. Like they're a doctor. Like it's so crazy. Like
And
it's,
even with the phone numbers, like you said, you
Mhm.
don't know who you're talking to.
you don't, and they don't
Just call them.
they don't care that they're talking to you. They don't go home at night and be like, "Well, I talked to XYZ today, and I really think they're crazy and they're probably going to do
Like,
something."
oh my God,
No,
no.
they've talked to probably 100 people. You're just one of the 100 people, and you need help, and you need to worry about yourself. It don't matter what these people are talking about. No difference if you're calling customer service or something like for your computer. Your computer
Yeah,
needed help. You had to call customer service. That customer service person don't go home at night thinking about your Dell. They really don't. They
yeah,
don't. They just went through what they had to do to make sure you got the help you needed. That's what it
yeah.
is.
And it's hard to get that help because I see a lot of people that come in that have kids. Like a sweet little one, one day I come around the corner, like, what's wrong? I miss my kids. I know, but you're here to make sure when you get out of here, you're going to be there for those kids, that you're going to be there 100% clear mind. You can do this. Like you have to know that that's what you're here for. Do you to begin with, but also, they can be the second reason. People are like, I'm here for my kids, then you need to go home. Because if you're not there to get yourself better, you're going to come back, or you might not make it back. And I hate to say that because we've had some that haven't recently. You know, do it for you first, because if you can't get a clear mind, you're not going to be good for anybody else at all.
Yeah, it has to be for you. Yeah, it can't be for nobody else. Just like, I mean, that's like with anything in life. You don't go to the gym because you want to look good for somebody else. You need
I
to
don't
go.
know. Some people they do.
They do, but that's not going to be beneficial because at some
Yeah.
point in time, that person's going to say they either don't like what they
Yeah.
look like or they
Yeah.
want to find somebody else. And then what are you going to the gym for?
Because we talked about that.
Yeah,
You're like you wanted to go.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, you go
for
to
you
go
to
to
make you feel better.
right. You go for yourself. And by yourself looking and feeling better,
Yeah.
other people, you or if you're a single person or whatever in a scenario, then other people will notice you're looking better. Like it's not that it's not I'm worried about what everybody else thinks and hopefully they'll like me. Like yourself, and because you like yourself, everybody else will like you too.
Yeah.
That's the way that it works so that you become a better person. It's
Because I've told him you don't need to go to a gym because I threatened to fatten him up so he don't run off.
which I got too much more fattening to get.
But
Right now I'm living a Hansel and Gretel lifestyle. Like
but he wants to do it for him, and I'm okay with that. And if I don't do it, he's okay with that. Like it's not like if he's doing it, I have to do it with him because it's probably not going to happen. Like you know what I mean? Like you just have to be happy with you. And it took me a long time to be able to be comfortable with anything like that. You know what I mean? But when you get with the right person that's encouraging you and helping you, it makes a big.
yeah, it's a huge difference. The camera up there, guys. Can't
He
chew
messing with
gum and walk at the same time. So, well, I just want to share this video with you real quick. We'll get off here and I'll watch my Titans lose.
So, do we want to do a positive thought before the video?
Yeah, do your positive thought while I'm trying to fix this part.
I'm gonna. This one is spread kindness because I think it really goes with what we talked about just seeing somebody and just asking them a simple question. It's kindness costs nothing. Kindness costs nothing, but means everything. Choose to spread it, and I think you should.
Yeah.
I don't care what the person looks like and what color they are, where they're from, how old they are. Just look at somebody and just be like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Yeah.
Or, "Hey, I like that shirt you're wearing." Just something.
Yeah.
You know, or just look at them and say, "Hey, you know what? You matter. You're important."
Yeah. Look at somebody.
That's all you need to do.
Somebody that looks like that they're having a bad day, or if they look like they're having a good day, or whatever. But I mean, if you see somebody that looks like they're legitimately having a bad day, be like, it's gonna be all right. Just saying something simple like that. If you need somebody to talk to, I'm right here. Yeah. Give me your number or something. I mean, you may not. It depends on your partnership situation. So somebody may not feel comfortable with that. But if you have the availability to be able to talk to them, or just give them a good greeting to make it through the day, I mean, that's what it's about.
Especially like at my job, like, after the second or third day, if they're detoxing from something, it's when they feel their lowest. Like, hey, once you get up, go in there and take you a nice hot shower, you're going to feel better. We'll get you some food. Come up here if you need something, just talk to me.
Why are you always trying to give people food?
Because we have good food over there. Okay. I'm just saying.
Well, let me go ahead. We'll go through this.
Gives you the freedom to tell your story.
YouTube's not for me.
With a
Okay, so this is a song called Conscience. Never heard of it. It's a song about basically it was my thoughts on the inner dialogue I felt like I was having between like a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other, explaining to me if I should or should not kill myself. Okay, so that's what the song is about. Granted, to let you know before you watch the entire video, I'll try to make these videos by using a program called LTX, I believe, AI. I don't know.
AI.
It's an AI software. Yeah. And so I use a bunch of pictures and I try to formulate all the AI and make it. So if you don't like AI videos, well, you're in for a treat. So here we go.
And this song is very descriptive about certain things.
Yeah.
But not to trigger anybody, but it's a really, really good song.
And we have been talking about suicide.
Yeah.
We are an hour in.
So enjoy.
Here we go.
The gun is all loaded, barrel pointed at the floor. Took all the pills but could probably have taken some more. This life has been so crazy, too much for one to take. I feel I'm at the end of my rope, and now my mind's about to break. But maybe I should try one more time to pray, just to see what the hell God might say. But I heard something different I had never heard before. Do it, blow a hole in your face. Do it, please do it, you're damn waste of space. Cause no one needs you around, please help us turn our silly frowns upside down. Say bye-bye my dear, no one's gonna miss you here. So go ahead and get off your knees, you really think he cares? Oh Leslie, they forgot, go ahead.
Demon on my shoulder, and he's trying to make me fold. There's an angel on my shoulder, and she's begging for me to hold. See, the demon is a liar, and never truly had my back. The angel is praying to get me back on track. Lord, I'm begging for your grace. Begs thoughts to leave this place. Help me pull this barrel.
Don't listen to him, he is a snake in the grass. See, his words do not last. No, like the almighty three who see who made to be. Not a mistake or sin past or place you have been, but created by him, the one above all them, who can shield you from pain, make you dry in the rain, make the dead walk again. He can do anything, but you have to put your faith in the Lord. Live right at the chore, so remove that gun from you. Face breath in it, felt God's grace. From this day forward, live your life for the Lord, and smiles will fill your face. But all those negative thoughts, I promise they're not true.
There's a demon on my shoulder, and he's trying to make me fall. There's an angel on my shoulder, and she's begging for me to hold. See, the demon is a liar,
Never truly had my back. The angel is praying to the Lord to get me back on track.
Yeah, we put statistics on this too.
Okay. There's all of the numbers. Well, you can't really see it, but there's little some of it.
It's for the National Mental Health Hotline, PTSD, depression, suicide prevention. Some of you can just text on your phone, like that one. The veteran suicide, there's a text for that too. LGBTQ ones and teen suicide.
Yeah.
There's numbers for any and every person that could use some help.
Yeah. So like I said, if you need to go back to the video, don't even watch the video if you don't want to. If you do, that'd be great. Much greatly appreciate it. But if you just need the numbers, just go on there and just go on there and get to the numbers that you need. So,
and don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to, like at all.
Nope. It's much better to be here tomorrow, be able to laugh about it, get up and remember things and be wiser than it is for everybody to be remembering you at your funeral.
Yeah.
But like I always say, Shannon never says, take care of your, well,
Take care of yourself.
please pray for me. I'm about to watch my Titans play. And I wanted to say, because if you stayed along this long into the video, we greatly appreciate it. Also, we have memberships. And I know it sounds like it's another reason for us to just get money, but like half of like all of the money that we ever are going to make from any YouTube, I always want to try to make it go to some kind of charity. So, like, you know,
We found one good.
I mean, if we ever become like Mr. Beast, we might have to negotiate the percentage a little bit. But like right now, we're just doing this to help people and, try to cover the expenses we use on like the software, basically. And like everything else is just to help each other, So, anybody who wants to be a member, we have perks and we have that if you go to our YouTube profile, there's a post in there about all the perks and everything like that if you're interested. So if you do it, you would be our first member, and there might be something special for you. Shannon's mom might make you
Cherry delight.
a
Or
cherry,
crack cake.
a cherry delight, or crack cake. I don't know if we can actually give that out, but we would, and if we can't, we'll eat it,
It's not
and
that
we'll just say how
kind.
great it is. No, it's not. It's like sugar. It's like sugar weird cake, but it's really good.
Very sweet.
But like I always say, Shannon never says, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and peace.